magic in a live performance. To purchase tickets, call 236-2274 or buy online at okalacivictheater.com. Don't wait one day more. Call now.
96.3 FM. Yeah, it is 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. This is WOCA Ocala, The Source, and it's Labor Day. Good morning, everybody. Robin, are you there?
I am here.
There you are. We've got a fun little segment that we do every year on Labor Day, and it is just simply remembering our first job or our first jobs. So I'll kick it off, Robin, and then I want to hear yours. I think I remember yours. Your very first job was at a custard stand.
Yes.
Do you remember mine? My very first job.
Yes.
Paying
you were
job.
Cleaning the church.
I cleaned a church. I was the sexton's assistant.
Yes.
Sexton was the word that church used for custodian. I don't know if all churches use that word, but I remember going back to my classmates and saying, I got a job. What are you doing? I am the sexton's assistant. What is that?
Oh, gee.
Mr. Puff. That was his name, Mr. Puff. Mr. Puff, by the way, was the custodian in the school, and Mr. Puff was the custodian in the church, or the sexton. I never really knew if it was the same Mr. Puff.
Oh.
I've often wondered, was it the same guy who cleaned the church and cleaned the school? I wasn't really sure. I was just a kid, so I really didn't remember. But anyway, that was my first job. Other first jobs I had, because I had more than one first job. I had the first job I had after moving to Florida. I was only 17. Okay, and so in other words, the church job was up in New York. I don't think I had any others up in New York.
Oh, okay.
I think that was my only job. And then down here in Florida, my first job was helping a lady who delivered the Star Banner. She at night, it was just the Sunday delivery is what I helped her on. So Saturday night, Sunday morning, she drove a blue Pinto. And she would come pick me up at night, and I would get into the passenger seat of her car because the Star Banner was such a big newspaper on Sunday. She needed a little extra help. And so I would basically sit in the passenger side, putting the paper together and then stuffing them into the boxes, right?
Oh, nice.
One night, she ran over a skunk.
Oh, no.
And it smelled. I mean, I heard the thump. I heard the thump, and I smelled the thing, and that smell stayed with me forever. I mean, it probably didn't literally stay with me, but it was like I could always smell that skunk smell. Like, just by thinking, I can right now actually think about it and smell it, mixed with, newspaper has a smell. So her car had this distinct scent of ink or whatever makes a newspaper smell,
right?
Mixed with skunk. And keep in mind, I was a kid, just moved down here from Long Island, right?
Yeah.
So my first job down here was with this woman delivering newspapers, and Dunellen is where we were, and it was it's still very rural even today, but even more so back then. And I remember driving down the road, and it was a cow. Right standing in the middle of 41, where 40 and 41 meet. And she got out of the car and chased the cow off the road. And I'm thinking, wow, a cow in the middle of the road in the middle of the night, right?
Oh, wow.
And then when we got into town, she found a payphone and she called. She knew who the farmer was that owned the cow.
Really?
So she called him up in the middle of the night. She said, hey, one of your cows was on the road. And I thought, wow, we are living in what was the name of it where Andy Griffith lived? Mayberry. We are living in Mayberry. Felt like Mayberry.
Yeah.
So your first job was at a custard stand in Cudahy?
Milwaukee. Yeah,
in Milwaukee. So you went to the big city.
Well, it was right across the street from the airport.
Right.
It was custard, and it was just a lot of fun. They had you could eat inside. They had a counter with stools, and they had 2 booths there, and then outside you could park your car. And then you go out and serve them out there. And it was really great because they made the best steak burgers ever with fried onions, or you could have raw onions, but I like fried. And they were so good because you got, steak burgers.
So it was like a Sonic's sort of kind of.
Not really. No, it wasn't. You could go inside and eat. At the counter, they had stools at the counter, and they had 2 booths inside. And then if you wanted to, you could pull out on the outside and
really,
have your.
How
food
far
there.
was it from home to work?
It was only about 10 miles. It wasn't that far.
How'd you get there?
Yeah, my dad drove me.
Your dad drove you?
My dad drove me, and then he picked me up. I would end at midnight, and he'd come pick me up. Yeah.
Did you have a lot of guys hitting on you?
No.
You were young? Yeah, you probably
No,
did.
not
You didn't
really.
realize
I was
it.
behind the counter.
Yeah, well, that's where the guys want. They
Yeah.
want to sit the other side of the counter.
No, they had the best waitresses there. They had two, and
Morning, Joe.
they were just so great. You know, they were just a lot of fun, and it was a great place. You know, all the students went there and everything. So
Well, we have a phone
fun.
call. Let's see if. And by the way, we're inviting everybody to call in, share your first jobs with us, or maybe not your first one, maybe an early job that is resonating with you right now as we remember our past. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. As you know, I deliver mail in Bellevue, which is still somewhat rural. And one of my customers has a goat that tries to climb up into the mail truck if you let him.
Oh,
That's kind of funny. Oh, I like.
he'd have your mail for lunch. That would be awful.
And that's today, 2013. That's pretty cool.
That's today, yeah.
Wow, you should get a video, put it on YouTube. It'd be viral. What is
Yogi the goat.
Yogi?
Oh,
Yeah, he's got a name.
Now, do goats does male and female goats have different names? Like, does goat mean male or female, or do they have the same?
I don't
name?
know if he's. Well, he's got horns, so I assume he's a billy goat.
Oh,
yeah.
Billy means male. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking the word male has got double meaning, especially with
yeah,
you. So.
yeah. And the female goat is a nanny goat.
Nanny. That's right. Nanny goat. Billy goat. I forgot. Yeah. All right, Jim. Good to hear from you. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, what a fun story.
We have another phone call here. By the way, if you want to be part of this, you're invited. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, Linda. How you doing?
Hey, my first maybe I'll get paid job was shining shoes in the Milwaukee bars.
Oh, really?
And a lot of times the drunks would just give me money so I'd go away because they felt sorry for me.
Oh, no.
oh.
I don't think I was really good at shoe shining. But hey, you know, we could make some good money. You know, you're 8 years old, 9 years old, you'd go out. And it was a different time, too. It was safe. And, you know, you could hit like 12 bars in about an hour and a half and come home with $30-$40, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me and my brother, I'd go with my older brother, and we each had our little shoe shine kits, and they were homemade, and we did pretty good. And then when I first got paid, it was a newspaper carrier,
Really?
you know, delivering. And I didn't run into cows. My obstacles they were snowbanks, trying to get that wagon.
Oh,
You're
wow.
12 years old. 12 years old, you know, and you're not real big, and you're trying to get that wagon with 100 newspapers tied on it over a 4-foot snowbank.
So you walked your paper route.
Yeah, we walked it. Yeah,
Wow.
and you get a blizzard. You know, you had to pull that your wagon over those snowbanks. You know, to get them.
So were you hired to be a shoe shining girl, or did you just go in there and like offer it entrepreneurially?
Yeah, like you guys are going to do with your accordions and that, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna busking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So you were
yeah, we
busking.
just walked in the bar. If the bar owner would let us in, we were lucky. If they kicked us out by grabbed us by the back of our pants and threw us out the door. Sometimes we were lucky. Sometimes we were.
Oh,
and then
funny.
at Christmas we'd sing Christmas carols all key. and then in summertime we still weren't old enough to get real jobs, so we'd cut lawn. You know, we'd go with a little push lawnmower.
Right.
And some little clippers, and we'd ask, you know, the older folks if they want us to cut their lawn.
Well, I suppose, I guess I could consider that a first job. I think I probably did that before I was a sexton's assistant, so maybe that would count. Yeah.
Yeah, but the paper route was my real job.
First job.
Steady income where somebody wasn't chasing me out the door.
Now, were you and Robin in Milwaukee at the same time?
Oh yeah, we had to been because I was born there in 1960 and I didn't leave until 97.
So you're actually a junior to Robin. So you might have been a kid going to the custard stand.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was thinking when she said the custard stand, maybe she was at Leon's.
What was it called?
No, it was Al's. Yeah,
Al's.
From the
Oh,
airport.
Al's. Oh, yeah, that's famous too.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can't wait to hear other people's first jobs because they're all interesting.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, let me hear some more.
You take care. Bye.
Do have another call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry and Robin.
Hey.
Hi. I also delivered newspapers by bicycle in San Diego, where I grew up. That was a pretty good job. I had 105 customers. And I did afternoon route, and then Sunday morning route. Oh dear, that was a lot of work to load on a bicycle and slog around. But the first job I really had that I enjoyed was I delivered pizza to a little mom and pop Italian restaurant, and I had a 1968 Datsun 510, and I would work after school and on weekends. for $4.35 an hour, and I'd make pretty good tips. For a kid in high school with a car, like $50-$60 a day was pretty.
Oh, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. Yeah. Well, sometimes those tipped jobs are actually better than the non-tipped jobs.
Yeah, it would really vary. Like some guys would really be nice and give me $2 or $3. Some people would just want absolute exact down to the penny change. It was strange, but
oh, really?
One of the funny stories I have about that job is I was delivering a meatball sandwich to a guy, and I went through his little white picket fence, and was walking up the steps to his porch, and a Doberman Pinscher came through the screen door, just burst through the screen door, and started chasing me. So I had enough room. I turned around and ran. Then I dropped the sandwich, and I grabbed the sandwich and just lifted it.
Oh, no.
The sandwich, so I got away.
Oh, no.
So I went back to the restaurant, and I was like, a dog ate the sandwich. And they said, really? Did you or if you're hungry, we'll eat. Don't eat the customer.
Oh, and they didn't believe you.
And so I got blamed for it. And so they made another sandwich, and the guy called and said, oh, the delivery driver's okay. I went out on my porch, and there's just little shards of aluminum foil everywhere.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, so at least he
put the dog away.
At least he backed up your story. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Now you would have thought somebody know better than to keep their dog out when a delivery guy is expected.
Well,
yeah.
It flipped through the screen door, just ripping the screen off the door. When
My goodness. My goodness.
That is
I was
scary.
at the gate, and then I was just walking up, in a hurry because I was out of the deliveries. But it just, I'll never forget this dog just with its jaws open, coming through the screen at me. But the meatball sandwich saved me.
Yeah, it sounds like you did. Yeah, for sure. And do you eat meatball sandwiches often?
Oh, sure.
And I bet you think of that story every single time, right?
And whenever I think of my first job, I did that job for a couple of years. Now it's probably the most exciting thing.
Oh, wow.
I had two older women hit on me. I was just a scared,
That's before they called them cougars, right?
I didn't know what to do.
That's right. That's scary in itself.
Oh, man. Well, we'll have that. We'll have a day when cougar stories from guys who are now now we're too old to have cougar stories. All right, hey, thanks.
You want to come in?
Man, I never had that happen.
Yeah, I bet you would have gotten a good tip.
Yeah, tips is in the. All right, thank you. I think he's gone. All right, we've got another call here. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, everybody, and happy Labor Day.
Hey, Hugh, thank you. You too.
Okay, my first paying job I was a shoe salesman, and Robin would probably remember the name of Mailing in Milwaukee area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And anyways, that was back in the days when a person would window shop in front of the store, and look at the different styles, and they'd get the serial number. Then they'd come into the store and sit down and wait for a salesman to approach them, like myself, and then we'd go fetch the shoe out of the back storage area, and then take their shoe off and put the shoe on, and they would walk around and everything else, So nowadays they don't do that anymore, and it was interesting for a 17-year-old like I was. It was in high school because some of the customers were kind of cute. So you're
some of the customers.
Yeah. Well, there was a women's shoe store. Now.
I gotcha. I understand. Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the girls were kind of cute, and you were touching their tootsies and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. It was an interesting job, and I did it for about a year and a half. But I always remember my first job as being kind of fun like that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, you learned customer service the easy way.
You bet. I want to remind everybody it's Labor Day, so if you got a flagpole, get that flag up there today.
Get your flag out for Labor Day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, fly the Stars and Stripes. It's one of those days that it should be flown.
All right. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate that.
You bet. Bye now.
Robin, did you ever work someplace where you were involved in a strike? Like the people that we worked with went on strike?
No.
No, I never did either.
No.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Larry and Robin. It's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Happy Labor Day to everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. So, wow, I'm glad I didn't have such a dangerous situation as that delivery guy. I actually had a very safe first job, and that was organist in a church.
That's pretty safe. Yeah. How old were you when you got that job?
I actually was just between the 5th and 6th grade.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You were that young and you were an organist at a church. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But the really amazing thing was my parents said, "Oh well, you know, this is something that you do. You know, you give your talent, you know, to the Lord." And so I got some, you know, ridiculous little stipends at Christmas, but it was still my job.
There you go. Oh no, you didn't really get paid, huh?
Well,
so was there a sexton's assistant there that was hitting on you? I mean, I can imagine being the young sexton's assistant and finding out that there's a cute organist now working here.
Yeah.
No, but I got to see, you know, all the parishioners coming in and out, especially going out, and I'd look in that, you know, that rear view mirror on the organ, and I'd check everybody out going out. My mother would be like, "What? Keep your eyes on the music. Keep your eyes on the music." It
a whole new meaning to the rear view mirror. Yeah, you had a rear view.
Yeah. Yeah, and then front view and rear view. And then Robin's first job reminds me of the job that I then added on to it, was that my dad would drive me to a bakery like 6 miles, 7 miles away, like 5 o'clock in the morning on weekends.
Oh, wow. See? The important role we play as dads, huh? Moms do it too, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren.
Oh, definitely.
That is cool. That's so young. Wow, that's impressive, actually.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lauren.
I bet she's a virtuoso.
I'm sure she is. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi,
Happy
Lenny.
Labor Day.
Thank you. You too.
My first job was working in the fields.
Hey, what were you picking?
Well, the first time I think I was picking peanuts, and then I went to. I tried it all: tomatoes. I tried cutting okra. I picked oranges, grapefruit when I was a little kid.
Wow. And here in Florida?
Yeah.
Was it just unbearably hot out there?
Oh man, let me tell you, yeah, that's some heck of a work. That's why I have a lot of respect for people that do that kind of work. Boy, it's labor intensive, I tell you. And especially back then, because back then, you know, you could go places and as a kid, and sometimes they wouldn't pay you until, you know, like the end of the day, and then that was, you know, to make sure that you stayed, because some people would, you know, they get out there and they say, heck, I'm not going to do the rest of this, you know, and they'd sit down or whatever, and then you know, you may not get paid. So that was, and then, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of monitoring in the fields, anything like that too.
Wow. So you got paid every day?
Sometimes you did, and sometimes you got paid at the end of the week. You had numbers. It depends. Sometimes you would have numbers, and you keep a record of it, and they would pay. And then when that happened, a lot of times you didn't get paid. You didn't get paid fairly. And the better ones was when you got paid every day.
Did you run into hazards like bugs or snakes or anything like that?
Oh, snakes.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh,
snakes,
no.
Snakes love, one thing about snakes, they love snakes and bees. They love grapefruit and orange trees.
Oh, no.
Rattlesnakes, too.
Oh, man. And it's probably no different today. The guys and ladies working out there today, right?
Probably not.
Wow.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you, Lenny. Appreciate that.
Right.
Did you ever work for a day labor or something like that?
No.
I did. I had
did.
When we first moved to Florida, I wanted to be back in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove to New York as soon as I could, and of course had no job. So I went to this place called Tempo, which was like day labor here, and worked these one-day jobs. That's what Lenny reminded me of when he said you got paid at the end of the day. And you know, some days you'd be stocking shelves at a department store, and other days you were like in a warehouse, you know, just loading things on trucks. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry and Robin. This is June. How are you guys in your new studio over there?
Very good. Have you seen the new studio yet?
No, I'm coming. I'm getting there. Maybe one day this week coming up. We've been real busy.
All right, all right.
I wanted to tell you my first job. I come from Connecticut, born in Hartford, and the rite of passage was you went to work for tobacco farms in those days. They grew the shade-grown tobacco in Connecticut Valley.
Really?
And yes, and you could do that at age 12. So that's when I went to work at first.
Wow.
And that was hard work. You were outside. You had to be there at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And you worked all day under these shade-grown, huge, long shade-grown, like tents. And it was all piecework, too. And it was 10 cents a bent. That's what they called it. And a bent was like maybe 20, 25 feet, and it had maybe 25 or 30 shade-grown tobacco in there, and you had to put the string around the bottom and come up to the top and make sure that you put it on a wire on the top that the tobacco could grow straight. I mean, it was really grueling work.
Oh, wow, 10 cents. That doesn't sound like much.
No,
10 cents a bent, and that bent was like 25 feet long. I mean, it was
man.
Wow.
When you're a kid, you get money, and like I had a brand new bike and all that stuff, but still, I thought to myself, I used to see adults doing that, and I thought to myself, I'm going to college because I don't want to.
Never want to do that, right? Yeah.
No, we don't. Anyway, I can relate to Lenny what he said about working on the farms too, because this was a farm, but it was just. I think all the tobacco now is gone. I think they grow it in other countries, and I don't think they do it even in Connecticut anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it's become taboo now in our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because that was an enlightening moment in my life.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Do you know, I was reminded as we were listening to our listeners, a job I had. I was talking about the day labor. I had a job in New York that became a full-time job because of a day labor job. In other words, it was at a factory, and it was 12-hour shifts. There was only 2 shifts in the whole factory, ours and theirs, and mine was the middle of the night one. It must have been, I don't know, I think it was from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or something like that. You worked all night long, 12 hours. There were tiny little windows. It was a very tall ceiling. I remember it was a plastic factory. And basically, I pulled a lever and combs came out, or I pulled a lever and the dust covers for turntables for record players came out.
Wow.
It was just a factory, and all I did really was kind of pull a lever and the machine did everything, and then you pull the lever and the machine does everything, and then you pull the lever and the machine does everything, and then you pull the lever and the machine does everything, and you did that all night long.
Wow.
And I remember there were 3 breaks. It was a 15-minute break. At how many? What's like 3 hours into it, I guess.
Yeah, like 3 a.m. then.
Something like that.
Start at midnight.
And there was a half-hour break 6 hours into it, and another 15-minute break somewhere before the morning.
Wow.
And I remember going to the restroom one day, into the men's room, and I was standing next to him. I was just a kid. I was standing next to this guy, old guy to me, for my standards, right? And I said to him, "How long have you worked here?" And he said, "Oh, I've worked here like 20 years or something like that." And I said, "Wow, do you ever get used to this 12-hour shift?" He goes, "No. You never get used to it." and just like our June was just saying right now that she had decided she was going to do something other than that with the rest of her life, so did I. I said, no way, I'm not going to continue doing this. All right, we've got to take a little break. It is Labor Day, but we are working and we're taking care of business as usual. Rabbi Yossi Hecht is here, I think.
Yes, he is.
I think I saw him there.
The
there he is. There's the rabbi. Yeah, this is the right door. Come over here. Rabbi Yossi Hecht is here, coming into the door right now. He's the rabbi of Chabad Lubavitch Jewish Center. He's going to come in to teach us about the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah. We'll take a little break, and we will be right back.
Alice?
Yes, George. George, you're all wet.
I went to Devon Self-Storage and put back my fishing gear.
Okay. You know Devon Self-Storage is open early, and you had all day to bring your fishing gear back, and they're right across from Hobby Lobby.
I know. I have my own code to get into Devon Self-Storage, and their phone number, too,